Lincoln Financial Field can safely be called one of the most technologically advanced stadiums in the country. It's been the home of the Eagles and its rabid fan base since 2003. The rain was really coming down earlier, and it's expected to continue during the game. Hopefully things don't get too sloppy as the New Orleans Saints take on the Philadelphia Eagles. Well, get your bowl of popcorn, your favorite beverage, get settled in. We're just about ready for the opening kick. Akers has his team lined up for the kickoff.
Start the game. Thomas back deep to return.
The kick is away. Takes it from the 6. Their offense will step onto the field for the first time, hoping to come away with some points on this possession. First and 10.
Ball on the 27-yard line.
The Eagles line up in a 4-3. Bush takes off in motion. They'll throw on first down. Steps up in the pocket. Throws it deep. Incomplete pass. The pass was deflected and swatted away by the defender.
Second and 10. Ball on the 27-yard line.
The Philadelphia Eagles go with a 4-man front. Drops back to pass. Pass completed. Great open field tackle by Harrell. So he'll pick up the first down on that pass to the receiver.
Savvy little move that time by the receiver to pick up the first down.
First and 10.
Ball on the 43-yard line.
43-yard line.
The Eagles line up in a 4-3. Gets it off. Play fake. Looks to his left. Lays it up there. Touchdown Saints.
Touchdown
Throw
Saints.
against single coverage. Hartley lining up for the point after. Extra point is good. New Orleans is up a touchdown. New Orleans looks ready to kick it away.
Harris back deep to return.
He line drives it. Takes it at the 12.
Down one score, you know the offense has their eyes set on trying to put some points on the board with this one.
First down now.
Will start the drive at the 33-yard line. First and 10.
The Saints come out in a 4-3. They go to the run. It's a loose ball. The Eagles recovered it. That was a fortunate bounce for the offense.
Every once in a while, you just have to have a little luck, and they're lucky to get that one back.
That'll bring us to a second and long situation.
32-yard line.
They line up in the I formation. Little handoff.
In the first half, still plenty of time to be patient with the running game, but if you don't start having better success than that, it's really going to start putting pressure on you to throw the football.
The New Orleans Saints line up with a quarter defense. There are 7 defensive backs on the field. He drops back to pass. He's laying it out there. Oh, and he dropped. Brown was unable to make the catch on that pass attempt.
Receiver on the play.
Roca awaits the snap. Bush will be the return man.
Ball on the 36. Ball on the 36-yard line.
The Philadelphia Eagles come out in a 4-3. Drops back on first down. Throws the deep pass. He brings it in.
And Tom, I don't think he's finished yet. This is a guy that is on a roll right now, and this defense really doesn't have an answer for him.
First and 10. Ball on the 32-yard line.
One-man backfield. They go with the run. The 20, the 10. They finally bring him down inside the 5. Big play. And he broke that ball for a huge gain.
What a run that was. I really thought he might be gone there, but they were finally able to chase him down.
Let's see if their play calling changes now that they're in the red zone for the first time. Forward the pass.
Breeze with the carry. No gain on the play.
1 yard to the goal line.
1 yard line.
Puts his head down, and he scores. What a play.
Touchdown, Saints.
Hartley lining up for the point after. Hartley is to go to the point after. They're starting to build a big lead early in this ballgame.
Yeah, and this defense better figure out something to do pretty quickly or this one's going to get away.
New Orleans will be kicking off.
Aaron back to return.
The kick. Fields it at the 13. The offense takes the field, hoping to put something together after their last drive ended in a 3-and-out.
Ball on their own 20. Start the drive at the 29-yard line. First and 10.
Ace backfield this time. He looks to throw on first down. He couldn't hang on to it.
Well, now you know why that guy doesn't wear an 80 number. He is never going to be mistaken for a wide receiver with those
Ball
eight.
on the 29-yard line.
One-man backfield. Scrambles for yardage. Picked up a few yards on the scramble.
Believe me, though, at this level, quarterbacks' arms are better than their feet. So while that one had some moderate success, it's not something you want to be doing all day.
The New Orleans Saints bring in their dime package. And the ref blows this one dead.
Dead ball. False start on the offense. Number 18, still third down.
And he definitely moved on that one.
And it's so embarrassing to jump off sides for an offensive player because you notice that. But I swear there's so many things going through your mind, especially if the guy across from you is beating you in the head all day. Sometimes you just forget.
Back to pass. Here we go, deep. Throws it deep. He brings in the deep throw.
And the speed was really the difference there. As defenders try to make plays against them, they have to respect that speed. That time they gave him just a little bit too much room.
First and 10 on the 39-yard line.
The Saints line up in a 4-3. Drops the easy pick.
And that was a relatively easy interception that he let go in and out of his hands there.
Ball on the 39-yard line.
The New Orleans Saints bring in the nickel package. Oh, and he dropped it. Macklin was the intended receiver on the play, and it falls incomplete.
On the play.
Just under 2 to go in the quarter.
Ball on the 39-yard line.
New Orleans might have some difficulty covering all 5 receivers with a base 4-3 defense. Pass completed.
Gain of 6 on the play.
They'll call on the field goal unit here for this long try.
He missed it. It's no good. Keep the defense guessing. Don't forget to use misdirection and play action to keep them off balance on passing down. First and 10.
From the gun. First down, looking to throw. He's laying it out there. The 30, the 20, the 10. Touchdown, Saints. Moore gets another touchdown pass, his second. And here's the extra point. Hartley tacks on the extra point. New Orleans gets ready to kick it away.
Harris back to return.
Kicks it off. Fields it at the 11.
You know, they really have to try and get this game under control, or it's going to be a long, long day.
This defense will stop them for sure.
First and 10.
Ball on the 24-yard line.
The Saints come out in a 4-3. Little handoff. Maybe a yard on the delay.
1 yard gain on the play.
Second and 9.
Ball on the 25-yard line.
The New Orleans Saints line up in a 4-3. Drops back to pass. And the pass falls incomplete.
Yeah, he got rocked and the ball rolled.
The intended receiver on the
Nothing left
play.
after that hit.
3rd and 9. Ball on the 25-yard line.
The Saints bring in the nickel package.
Not across our middle.
Back to pass. Defense closing in. He's dropped. He just really showed off his speed and quickness on that.
Playing defensive end is all about the get-off. Can you anticipate the snap count, turn the corner, even if you don't get the sack, at least force that quarterback to step up so those big defensive tackles can get him.
Roca to punt. Pushed back to return it. Calls for the fair catch.
Fair catch made at the 37-yard line. Come on, show these guys some power football. The Saints
First down
will
now,
start the
and 10
drive
to go.
at the 37-yard line. First and 10.
The Eagles line up in a 4-3. They go with the run.
Well, you can't have a good running attack without good blocking, but blocking sometimes isn't enough. It takes a back with a little creativity, and we saw it right there.
The Philadelphia Eagles go with a 4-man front. Here's a counter play. What a hit! That was a big one there to pick up the first.
Well, they brought the blitz that time. The offensive line did a pretty good job recognizing it. They got the blocks, but the back was still able to get out of there for a nice gain.
Ace backfield this time. On the ground with a tailback. Still working. That was a good effort for the back to pick up the first.
And as a play caller, when you see a successful running play like that, it makes you a little more confident to call it the next time.
Still a lot of time left, but at the end of one, score is 21-0. Saints.
The Eagles. Nothing. The teams are ready for the second quarter. First
In
and
field
10.
goal range now.
Ball on the 28-yard line.
The Eagles go with a 4-man front. The halfback with the catch.
The defense held their position and didn't let him get away on that one.
2nd and 6 coming up here.
Ball on the 25-yard line.
Aces left. Aces left.
The Philadelphia Eagles come out in a 4-3. Here's a counter play. He didn't get back to the line. They would have doubled that.
Yeah, I think that was already in the trash can. You probably won't see that one run again. But I will say this, that penetration does that to any offense, and that time they just got in the backfield.
The Eagles line up with a nickelback.
Play pass. Play pass.
They give it to the tailback. Play fake. He lays it out there. It's completed. And that one will go for a first.
Very nice start to the drive. 3 first downs and a pretty ball thrown that time by the quarterback.
First and goal at the 2-yard line. Another trip to the red zone. Last time it resulted in a touchdown. He's in for the score. Great time to go to the ground, and they scored pretty easily. Hartley lining up for the point after. And the point after is good. New Orleans gets ready to kick it away.
Harris back deep to return.
And here's the kick. Takes it from the 6. He found some running room and was able to get an excellent return.
This is a good one to call.
Ball on their own 33.
At the 33-yard line. First and 10.
The Saints come out in a 4-3. They hand it off. Under heavy pressure. And that was a nice play to get in there for the sack.
The key to playing defense is getting good penetration. If you can make that quarterback move around sometimes, even if you don't get to him like they did on that play, you can still disrupt an offense.
Single set backfield. Drops back to pass. And it's knocked down. Selleck wasn't able to bring it in. Incomplete pass on the play.
Receiver on the play. 3rd and long. Ball on the 27-yard line.
One-man backfield. McNabb sends one of his guys in motion. He drops back to pass. All kinds of pressure. And it's complete. McCray drops him at the 31-yard line. And they don't get much on that completed pass, leaving them well short of the mark.
You know, it's kind of hard for me to analyze that play because I have no idea what they were thinking about. You have to at least make an effort to pick up a first down.
Roca is waiting for the snap. Bush is back deep to receive. Fields it at the 26. Loses the ball. It's picked up. The 30. And so they turn the ball over.
What a big play that was. They went from having to give up possession to getting the ball right back with a fresh set of downs.
The smart coach will call this one. First
Great field position here as they start this drive inside their opponent's red zone. Expect the defense to turn it up a notch here in the red zone. He looks to throw on first down. He's under pressure. Oh, and they got him.
Well, it looks like he's okay, but I don't know how he cannot keep taking shots like that. And I'll tell you another thing. This guy's a tough guy, and I don't care who you are. As a quarterback, you take hits like that, you start looking at the pass rush.
Fakes the run. No, he drops it.
And it's not often you see the tight end drop a pass like that. That was thrown in there perfectly, and he just couldn't hang on.
Ball on the 25-yard line.
The Saints go with a 4-down front. Falls incomplete. The offensive line had some trouble on that one, and he was forced to get rid of it.
Anytime you give up that quick pressure like that, very seldom are those passes completed.
This kick will be from about 41 yards out. And right down the middle. Akers lines up to kick this one away. Decent kick. Fields it at the 9. They'll take over at the 22-yard line.
Scan the defense quickly here. If nothing's open downfield, get rid of it by passing to one of your backs.
At the 22-yard line. First and 10. The Eagles line up in a 4-3. Drops back on first down. Looks left. Heaves it deep. And the pass falls incomplete.
The intended receiver on the play. Second and 10. Ball on the 22-yard line.
Single set backfield. Looks to his left. Plays it up there.
Incomplete pass.
And it's incomplete. He led the receiver a bit too much on that last pass.
Ball on the 22-yard line.
Bush alone in the backfield. A little misdirection. He lost yardage on the play. Pretty conservative call for that situation.
Loss on the play.
Fourth down and a long ways to go.
Hey, watch your foot.
This is kind of a surprising call here by the coach. This is an obvious punting situation. He drops back. Hauls it in. And the completion goes for a first down.
So many times we talk about a receiver knowing where the first down marker is, but a defense has to know where that marker is too. And on that long yardage situation, you have to be able to make a stop.
First
2
and
minutes
10.
left in the half.
Ball on the 35-yard line.
Hey! They come out in a nickel. Here's a counter play. The 40. He's pushed out at the 34-yard line. Bush found some room and was able to pick up the first.
Patience, patience, patience. Anytime you see a play broken like that, you have to allow those big blockers to pull out in front, get up in the hole, and if the running back goes too fast or gets in too big a hurry, it doesn't work. That time, his patience was the difference.
He gets 4, maybe 5 yards on the counter.
On the play.
Second and 6.
Ball on the 29-yard line.
The Eagles go with a 4-man front. They hand it off.
I know they didn't get much, but it's all about making the defense respect the fact that they are willing to run.
This is the 8th play of this drive. They're within striking distance. The Philadelphia Eagles line up in a 4-3. Defense closing in. Hold calls a timeout.
Really nice blitz scheme that time by the coordinator. So many times now when teams are blitzing, they're just blitzing one half of a formation, dropping off on the other side. We're seeing perfectly timed execution there, and it surprised the offense on that one.
This one will be a 46-yard try. That is good.
Yeah, he just squeezed that one in there, didn't he? I'm sure he's going to be exhaling for about the next 30 seconds.
Mark Lloyd is just about ready to put his leg into this.
Harris back deep to return.
Line drive kick, not much distance there. Fields it at the 17. They had to settle for a field goal on their last drive. They take the field again, looking to put up another score.
This defense looks good.
They'll take over
At the 31-yard line. First and 10.
The Saints line up with a nickelback. Drops back on first down. Crosses the line. Made the play with his feet rather than his arm there.
Gain on the play.
And defensive coordinators hate running quarterbacks. They really do. Because it's one more spot on the field that against some quarterbacks, you don't have to defend.
He puts something extra on that throw, and it'll keep the chains moving. Philadelphia takes the timeout.
Whoa. This defense will stop him for
10.
sure.
First and 10. 43-yard line.
We got nickel. We got nickel.
The New Orleans Saints come out in a 4-3. First down, looking to throw. Pass is complete. That's 2 first downs in a row through the air.
And you can see they're really starting to establish something here. You want to keep that defense off balance. And right now, they don't know whether to think run or pass.
He looks to throw on first down. And the pass falls incomplete. And the referee threw the flag on that play. Let's hear what the call is going to be.
On the defense. First down.
And they say the defender made contact with the receiver too early.
But the defender can't go through the offensive player on the way to the ball, and that's what happened there.
Ball on the 25-yard line.
The Saints line up in a 4-3.
Watch it back, baby. Watch it back.
They'll throw on first down under heavy pressure. Pass completed. Touchdown, Eagles.
More and more, this team relies on Donovan McNabb to make plays. They put him back there in position to read the defense. He has the ability to run the football, but you better not relax against him. Even if he's looking all the way to the right, that backside receiver is still alive. That time they burn him for a touchdown.
Akers lining up for the point after. Extra point is good. Philadelphia is ready to kick it away.
Thomas back to return.
He kicks it. From the 9.
Well, they've got a big lead, but it is early, so you can't stop being aggressive. Keep doing what got you here.
Ball on their own 20. Start the drive at the 24-yard line. First and 10.
The Eagles come out in a 4-3. Here's the halfback. Spins away. Huge hit. Just an all-around great performance by him this half. He's certainly delivering. Second and 3.
Ball on the 31-yard line.
Single set backfield.
Three.
The halfback with the carry.
I know those runs aren't exactly the kind you see on the highlight shows, but you're keeping the drive alive, maintaining possession, and picking up first down.
They're really going to have to fight to get back into our score. The New Orleans Saints 31, the Eagles 10.
10. We're ready to begin the
And we'll see how this one turns out as we're set to get the second half underway. He line drives it. Takes it at the 15. Still pushing. They'll take over at the 32-yard line.
Harris on the return.
Ball on their own
Will
32.
start the drive at the 32-yard line. First and 10.
Nickel.
The Saints go with a 4-man front. On the ground with a tailback. Nice play fake. Pass completed. The 40, the 30. There's no one around. The 10. Touchdown, and we have a ball game.
I think Donovan McNabb can just make you look so bad at times. You know, he has the quick release. He gets the thing out of there. Sometimes he takes off with He'll run and makes you play sort of a spy situation against him. But then you forget how big an arm he really has. He has the ability to get the ball as far downfield as anybody in this league.
They're lining it up for the point after. Akers tacks on the extra point. Philadelphia gets ready to kick it away.
Thomas back deep to return.
The kick is away. From the 7. Still moving. Spins away. Looked like someone got caught holding. Here's the official call.
On the receiving team, number 44.
And you try to keep your offense on schedule. Anytime you take a penalty, it's just so much harder to pick up a first down.
First down and 16-yard line. First and 10.
The Eagles line up in a 4-3 on play action. Throws left. Laying it out there. Almost picked. That incompletion will bring up second down.
The intended receiver on the play. Second and 10. Ball on the 16-yard line.
The Philadelphia Eagles come out in a 4-3 on the ground with a tailback.
He likes to run in behind his blockers and then make that quick cut off their hip for a big gain, but it just didn't work out that time.
It's third down, 10 yards for a first.
16-yard line.
Ace backfield this time. He drops back to pass. It's completed. Moore is able to come down with it, and that completion will keep the chains moving.
You know, you talk about speed and you talk about effort, all those things, but there still is no substitute for a picture-perfect route run.
Single set backfield. He looks to throw on first down. Picked off. The 30. Good job to pick that ball up.
This guy's a gambler, no question about it. He doesn't mind taking some chances, and sometimes it pays off just like that.
After the defense gets a sanctuary, they're now set to go at the 26. The Saints go with a 4-man front. Hands it off.
Nice job with gap control defense there. Really no place to run.
They find themselves in scoring range.
On the 25-yard line.
McNabb lines up with a split backfield. He drops back to pass. All kinds of pressure. And he throws it away. Third down coming up after that incompletion. A fresh set of downs if they can get this one past the 16-yard line. Well, a familiar situation for this offense as they will attempt to convert yet another third down. Pass completed. The 10. Touchdown Eagles. Perfect time to go to the air, and they really didn't have much chance of keeping them out of the end zone on that play.
It's not often that the defense looks defenseless, but they certainly did on that play. And let's give a little credit to the offensive line. They had the protection, and that was the difference.
Akers lining up for the point after. Point after is good. Philadelphia looks ready to kick it away.
Thomas back to return.
Decent kick. From the 10. Stays on his feet. Spins away. Can take complete control of this game if they can get this one into the end zone. Ball on their own
will
32.
start the drive at the 32-yard line. First and 10.
The Eagles line up with a nickelback. He looks to throw on first down. Going for it all. Makes the grab. Moore has simply destroyed the defensive backfield in this one, burning them at will on his way to more than 200 yards receiving.
First
down
10
now and 10
Ball
to
on
go.
the 41-yard line.
The Philadelphia Eagles come out in a 4-3. They'll give it off here. They can't bring him down. The halfback gets the ball and picks up 5.
5-yard gain on the play.
Second and 4.
Ball on the 36-yard line.
The Eagles go with a 4-man front. Little handoff. What a display of power football by the fullback.
That may have been the longest run I've ever seen by a fullback. He's probably out there pumping and pumping. They give it to the tailback.
First and 10.
They're inside
Ball
the 20.
on the 20-yard line.
They'll make this a 2-possession game if they get into the end zone on this drive. They're just inside the 20. They'll throw on first down. To the end zone. Drops the sure pick. That might be holding. Let's see what the official's call is on the field.
Holding on the offense.
And I really didn't see the hold there.
Honestly, Tom, there is holding on every single play. I mean, the rule changes now allow for the guys to grab, but you have to keep inside the framework of the defensive player. As long as you do that, it typically doesn't get called. It did there.
The defense is in the nickel. A little misdirection. Hit and drop behind the line by Jordan. Not what they were looking for on that play.
You know, for a running back, there comes a point in time where you say, all right, this play is not working. Let me just get as much as I can and try to get it back to the line of scrimmage.
One-man backfield. Drops back. Throws the deep pass. Deflected and broken up. Looks like the official got someone for interference. We'll see which way they see it.
First down.
And I know this is a game of emotion, and if you're not emotional on the football field, you're going to get beat anyway, but you can't let your emotions get away from you.
First and 10. Ball on the 11-yard line.
Their last red zone trip resulted in a touchdown. I don't expect this one to be any different. Here's the halfback. Bush comes away with 5 yards on the carry.
5-yard gain on the play.
6 yards away from pay dirt here.
Ball on the 6-yard line.
Single set backfield. Here's a counter play. Runs over tacklers. He's in. Touchdown. That was a big-time run.
Let's give the running back credit on this one, but defensively, that was a breakdown. They had him in the backfield. They had a chance to make a big play defensively, and they just blew it.
Hartley lining up for the point after. And the point after is good. New Orleans looks ready to kick it away.
Harris back to return.
Kicks it off. From the 5.
All right, no time to fool around now.
Try this call here.
First and 10 will start the drive at the 27-yard line. First and 10.
The New Orleans Saints go with a 4-man front. Fullback handoff. They can't bring him down. Breaks free.
Good run plays always start with the blocking up front, but it also takes a back with vision to be able to find the hole. Good job there.
Second and short coming up here.
6-yard line.
The Saints come out in a 4-3. He drops back. Passes on the move. It's incomplete. Selleck was unable to make the catch on that pass play.
3rd and 1. Ball on the 36-yard line.
Big stop, defense. Here we go, baby. Over play. Big stop, big stop. Let's go.
The New Orleans Saints line up in a 4-3.
Go get him. Let's go. Go get him. Go get him.
Here's a counter play. That was an excellent one there to pick up the first.
Yes, sir. He really found a nice hole, was able to exploit it for a good gain. They're going to have to do a better job getting in those running lanes if they're going to stop him consistently.
The Saints go with a 4-man front. Moves up. Porter gets the pick. At the 30. Porter got a huge play with the defense there. Following the interception, it's now 1st and 10. The Philadelphia Eagles line up in a 4-3. Here's the halfback. He is hit hard on the play.
Well, I can tell you there's nothing more fun than playing offensive football when your offensive line is getting that kind of push.
We'll see what they can do in the red zone.
The 17-yard line.
The offense got 6 the last time they were inside the 20. Let's see what they do here. They give it to the tailback. What a brutal hit. And that looked like the exact same play they just ran. They're in field goal range.
Ball on the 14-yard line.
Nickel, nickel.
Bush lines up as the single back. Here's a counter play. Still going. What a shot. Looked like someone got caught holding. Here's the official call.
Holding on the offense. Number 88.
It looked like you got a handful of jersey on that one.
Well, you hold with your hands, but more often than not, holding is created by not moving your feet. There, clearly, he didn't get his feet in position, so he had no choice but to hold.
They find themselves in scoring range.
Hey.
The Eagles line up with a nickelback. On the ground with a tailback. He just about took that guy's head off. A 2-yard run by the halfback. And that's the end of the 3rd quarter. The New Orleans Saints 38, the Eagles 24. The New Orleans Saints have a good shot at widening the gap even further, starting the 4th quarter deep in enemy territory. In field goal range now.
Ball on the 22-yard line.
1-man backfield. On the ground with a tailback. He's one of those guys who can put up 100 yards week in and week out. This has just been another day at the office. 3rd down, and they have to get to the 4-yard line for the first. With the ball in the red zone, they have a very good chance of extending their lead. The halfback with the carry. What about that play?
Well, I always like to see an offense stay aggressive, I guess. But at least in this situation, it's the 4th quarter, you have the lead, I can understand the call.
This will be a 31-yard attempt. Right down the middle is good. Hartley has his team lined up for the kickoff.
Harris back to return.
Very low kick here. Fields it at the 13.
Time is really a factor now. This offense has to get the ball down the field quickly because they're going to have to get it back and do it again.
Ball on the 30-yard line.
The New Orleans Saints come out in a 4-3. Little handoff. Westbrook comes away with 2 yards on the carry.
On the play.
It's second down and 8 to
Ball
go.
on the 32-yard line.
McNabb lines up in the shotgun formation. Falls incomplete. Avant was the intended receiver on the play, and it falls incomplete.
3rd and 8. Ball on the 32-yard line.
The Saints line up with a nickelback. Drop back to pass. McNabb is going to be sacked for a loss. The offensive line has really struggled so far in this one. Roca awaits the snap. Bush is the deep man awaiting the return. Signals for the fair catch. Ball on their own 32.
Ball on the 32-yard line.
The Eagles go with a 4-man front. Here's the halfback. He picks up some more positive yardage and able to solidify a pretty good average for himself. Ball on their own 40.
Ball on the 40-yard line.
The Philadelphia Eagles line up in a 4-3. Gets it off. Halfback picks up a yard.
1-yard gain on the play.
Third and 1.
Ball on the 41-yard line.
The Eagles go with a 4-man front.
Dig down deep. Dig down deep. Here we go, D. Here we go.
They get up to the tailgate. And he just got hammered. Probably the right call, but just couldn't get the yardage they needed.
That was a big stop there. Now they're going to have to punt the football away. I know there's not a ton of time left on the clock, but plenty of time to get his team right back down the field.
4th and inches. Tell you, I'm very surprised that they aren't going to just punt this ball away. Here's the halfback. Just simply power football there, converting on 4th down.
Well, when you get in that kind of situation, certainly no surprises. It just comes down to the big offensive lineman against the big defensive lineman, and the big guys on offense won that battle.
First
We have 2 minutes left to play in this game.
42-yard line.
The Philadelphia Eagles bring in the nickel package. On the ground with a tailback. They've controlled the line of scrimmage from the start. He's trying to reach the 200-yard mark after a stellar day of running the ball.
6-yard line.
1-man backfield.
Posse in the game.
Gets it off. He still puts it. Breaks free. I guess we should have taken him seriously when he said he was going to roll this week. He certainly had. Third down here. They have to reach the 48-yard line to convert. The Eagles line up in a 4-3.
Time to shut it down. Right here, right now. Right here, right
They
now.
hand it off. Thomas picks up about 4 yards on the play.
On the play.
This is the 8th play of this
Ball
drive.
on the 45-yard line.
The Philadelphia Eagles go with a 4-man front. They go with the kneel down. And they will kneel down to try to run out the clock. And that will be the conclusion of this game. Our final score is the New Orleans Saints 41, the Philadelphia Eagles 24. Thanks again for joining us for this EA Sports matchup. For Chris Collinsworth, this is Tom Hammond saying so long.